In a democracy, the lead of any multilateral agency is expected to work like a clerk looking after constituents. It is not that the president does not have the power to push reforms, but generally they refrain from doing so at the UNSC. The fear of losing legitimacy from member states is also there, not for India though. Namaste and welcome to TFI Post. I am your host Sabita Mishra. If you are watching us on YouTube, please subscribe and press the bell icon to get all the latest updates. If you are watching us on Facebook, do like, share and follow the page. Let's begin. India's UNSC presidency has been one of the most game-changing in recent years. This is contrary to expectations and to some level mandates associate with the president as well. India has been successful in driving much-awaited talks on terrorism and multilateralism. When the External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar arrived at the UNSC, the stage was set for the world to witness India's clout. He did not disappoint either. India has held two signature events on security-related issues. The first one is that of the new orientation for reformed multilateralism under the item Maintenance of International Peace and Security. Speaking on open debate, External Affairs Minister pointed out that the UNSC has largely failed in securing peace and prosperity. Without even naming it, he pointed out how Pakistan's supportive countries are failing the UNSC by misusing the UNSC platform. His statement is believed to be reference to China blocking India's move to sanction 5 terrorists from Pakistan-based Lashkar-e-Taiba and Jaish-e-Mohammed at the UNSC. He also pitched for India's permanent position at UNSC and asked the Council to reflect the changing global environment in the structure of the Council. The second event was the threat to international peace and security caused by terrorist acts, global counter-terrorism approach, principles and the way forward. Here, External Affairs Minister Jaishankar released a presidential statement and asked for support from member countries. The statement is called the Delhi Declaration on Countering the Use of New and Emerging Technologies for Terrorist Purposes. It was adopted by Counter-Terrorism Committee of the UNSC on 28th and 29th October in New Delhi and Mumbai. India welcomed the adoption and released a presidential statement that read, Security Council reminds all states that they have an obligation to curb the terrorist activities of all individuals, groups, undertakings and entities included on the ISIL and Al-Qaeda sanctions list created pursuant to Resolution 1267, regardless of the nationality of residence of such individuals, groups, undertakings or entities. Jaishankar used this stage to reclassify Pakistan as the epicenter of terrorism. He also reminded the USA that one of its most powerful secretaries of the state had termed Pakistan-filled terrorism as a snake in the backyard. After the External Affairs Minister Dr. Jaishankar launched an initiative called Group of Friends, it is co-chaired by India, Bangladesh, Egypt, France, Morocco and Nepal. These countries share India's concerns regarding the safety and security of UN peacekeeping forces deployed all across the world, especially in terror-affected regions. The problem is that armed forces deployed on these missions themselves tend to become the victims of the violence and backstabbing by the people they are working with. India, being the biggest contributor, knows it better than anyone else. This is why India pushed for the adoption of Resolution 2589 during its last presidency. The resolution posed responsibility on the host nations to nab the killers and abductors of the peacekeeping forces. With this initiative, India also took ownership of establishing a platform to assert the resolution's mandates. Highlighting India's contribution to the cause, Dr. Jaishankar said, India has facilitated the launch of a database that will record all crimes against UN peacekeepers. I am glad to note that it will soon be ready for launch as well. India has done what it could have done under the constrained rules and regulations. It has driven the global narrative and been able to help Pakistan and its allies. It is now a new standard for upcoming presidents. Also, it is an indirect push towards permanent membership of the UN.